Dark day for Canada. Mark Carney's unthinkable move raises grave national concerns. Mark Carney, the newly appointed Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party, has ignited a firestorm of criticism since taking office. His early actions in the House of Commons have raised serious questions about government transparency and accountability, leading many to label this period as a dark day for Canada. The implications of his leadership decisions extend far beyond mere policy changes. They resonate deeply within the fabric of Canadian democracy. One of the most significant points of contention is Carney's decision to abandon the tradition of participating in question period every Wednesday. This practice, upheld by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, was seen as a vital mechanism for holding the government accountable. Conservative MP Garnett Genuis has criticized Carney for lowering the bar even further, suggesting that his avoidance of this essential accountability exercise undermines democratic principles and public trust. This departure from tradition signals a troubling trend that could set a precedent for future administrations. The absence of the Prime Minister during question period not only raises concerns about transparency, but also sends a troubling message to Canadians who expect their leaders to engage directly with the public. Many citizens feel that this move reflects a broader trend of detachment from the issues that matter most to them. The Prime Minister's role in facing scrutiny from opposition parties is crucial for maintaining a healthy democratic dialogue. By stepping back, Carney risks alienating constituents who crave direct engagement and accountability. Carney's handling of the carbon tax has also come under scrutiny. Initially, he garnered praise for pledging to reduce the carbon tax to 0%, a move that seemed to signal a new direction for the Liberal government. However, critics argue that this decision is misleading. While the government claims that the consumer carbon tax has been effectively zeroed, remains active legislation, creating uncertainty about its potential reinstatement. This has left many Canadians questioning the authenticity of the government's commitment to meaningful change. Liberal MP Stephen McKinnon acknowledged that although the tax is currently inactive, there are no definitive plans to remove it from the books. This ambiguity raises significant concerns for Canadians who are already struggling with rising costs of living. Many view the carbon tax as an additional burden, particularly in the context of a struggling economy where every dollar counts. The lack of clarity surrounding the tax fuels skepticism about Carney's intentions and the government's overall strategy. Critics of Carney's approach argue that such political maneuvering undermines public trust. Citizens fear that the government could reintroduce the tax when it is politically convenient, without the need for new legislation. This sentiment echoes past instances where temporary measures were never fully rolled back, leading to a pervasive sense of skepticism about government intentions. The potential for backtracking on promises creates an environment of doubt that can erode public confidence. The economic landscape adds another layer of complexity to Carney's leadership. The federal government faces accusations of financial mismanagement, particularly regarding large bond transactions worth hundreds of billions of dollars. This has led to increased scrutiny from economists and financial analysts who are concerned about the long-term implications of such actions. Many experts warn that these transactions could lead to severe repercussions for the Canadian economy, especially if not handled with utmost care. Inflation continues to be a pressing issue for many Canadians. Rising prices for everyday goods and services have stretched household budgets thin, causing anxiety about financial stability. The potential for a looming recession adds to this unease, leaving many wondering how the government plans to address these critical economic challenges. Citizens are looking for reassurance and actionable plans, but the current uncertainty only heightens their fears. While the government insists it has no plans to reintroduce the consumer carbon tax, the lack of legislative clarity and commitment to repeal raises skepticism among the populace. The perception that the government is prioritizing political convenience over genuine policy change is prevalent, fueling further discontent. This environment of distrust can lead to increased political polarization, which is already a concern in Canada's increasingly divided political landscape. In response to Carney's actions, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has seized the opportunity to criticize the Liberal government's approach. He has framed the carbon tax as an existential threat to the economy, arguing that it disproportionately affects consumers and businesses alike. Poilievre's campaign has centered on the promise to repeal the Greenhouse Gas Pollution Pricing Act, which encompasses both the federal fuel charge and the output-based pricing system, OBPS. His rhetoric resonates with many Canadians who feel burdened by rising costs and seek relief from what they perceive as an unfair tax. His stance resonates particularly in Western provinces, where feelings of alienation from federal policies are growing. Many Western Canadians feel overlooked by a government that they believe prioritizes urban interests over their own. This growing divide has led to renewed discussions around provincial independence movements, particularly in Alberta and Saskatchewan. The idea of greater autonomy is gaining traction as citizens seek to reclaim power over their local economies and governance. The political climate in Canada is increasingly polarized, with both major parties vying for the support of an electorate that is feeling increasingly disillusioned. Carney's early decisions could have long-term implications for the Liberal Party, especially if they fail to address the concerns of ordinary Canadians. The party risks losing ground to the Conservatives if it cannot demonstrate a commitment to transparency and accountability. This is particularly crucial as the next election approaches and voter sentiment can shift rapidly. As Carney navigates these turbulent waters, the early days of his administration have sparked a renewed discussion about the need for transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility in government. Observers warn that unless meaningful changes are made, Canada risks deepening divisions and economic instability. The stakes could not be higher, as the consequences of inaction may ripple through various sectors of society. The implications of Carney's leadership extend beyond immediate policy decisions. The erosion of trust in government institutions could have lasting effects on citizen engagement and participation in the democratic process. If voters feel that their concerns are being ignored or dismissed, they may become increasingly disengaged, leading to lower voter turnout and a weakened democratic fabric. This disengagement could create a vicious cycle where politicians feel less accountable, further alienating the electorate.